Have you ever felt lonely? If yes, remember, you are not alone. Loneliness is a universal human experience. It's a complex emotional response to the feeling of isolation or disconnection from others. And it's something we all navigate at various points in our lives. Whether it's due to a change in circumstances, a loss, or even a shift in our social circles, loneliness can catch us off guard, leaving us feeling vulnerable and isolated. But here's the thing. It's perfectly normal to feel lonely from time to time. It's part of being human. We are social creatures by nature, wired for connection. When that connection is absent or lacking, it's natural for us to feel a sense of emptiness or longing. It's our brain's way of telling us that we need social interaction, just as hunger tells us that we need food. However, if left unchecked, these feelings of loneliness can spiral, leading to stress, anxiety, and even depression. So it's essential to acknowledge it, understand it, and find healthy ways to cope with it. If you're feeling lonely, remember, you're not alone in this. Millions of people around the globe experience loneliness, just like you. It doesn't mean you're flawed or unlovable. It simply means you're human, and just like any other human experience, it's something you can navigate and overcome. In our increasingly connected world, we have more tools and resources than ever to help us combat loneliness. From digital platforms that allow us to connect with others around the globe to local community groups that bring us together face to face, there are countless ways to foster connection and combat feelings of isolation. So if you're feeling lonely, don't despair. It's not a permanent state. It's a temporary feeling, a signal from your brain urging you to reach out and connect with others. And there are practical steps you can take to do just that. Today, we'll explore some practical steps you can take to overcome loneliness. It's important to understand what loneliness is before we can tackle it. Loneliness is a universal human experience, a complex emotional response to feeling isolated or disconnected from others. It's not about being alone, but rather, it's about feeling alone. This feeling can be overwhelming and can strike even when you're surrounded by people. Loneliness doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone at any time, regardless of age, status, or location. It's a silent epidemic, often hidden behind smiles and locked doors. But why does loneliness matter? Loneliness isn't just an unpleasant feeling, it's a state of mind that can have serious implications on our health and well-being. Research shows that prolonged loneliness can be as harmful to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and even early death. Mentally, loneliness can lead to depression, anxiety, and increased stress levels. It can affect our self-esteem, making us feel unworthy of love and connection. It can make us feel invisible, as if we're on the outside looking in. Loneliness also affects our behavior. It can make us withdraw from social interactions, which can exacerbate our feelings of isolation. It can lead to a vicious cycle. We feel lonely, so we isolate ourselves, which makes us feel lonelier. But perhaps the most profound impact of loneliness is on our sense of belonging and purpose in life. We are social creatures, hardwired for connection. We thrive on sharing experiences, thoughts, and feelings with others. When we feel disconnected, it can feel as if something fundamental is missing from our lives. Acknowledging and understanding loneliness is the first step to addressing it. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to admit that you're struggling. And it's okay to seek help. Loneliness is not a personal failing or a character flaw. It's a human experience, as natural as joy, sadness, or fear. Now that we understand what loneliness is, we can start to look at ways to overcome it. Loneliness can strike when we're unable to connect with our loved ones. But there are other ways to stay connected. One of them is video chatting. It's a fantastic tool for bridging the physical distance. You can catch up with friends and family, arrange group hangouts to play games or watch events, even schedule meetings with your coworkers if you're working remotely. And don't forget about webcasts or online tutorials. They can provide a sense of community and shared learning, even if you're sitting alone in your living room. But what if you're not a fan of video chats? Well, the good old-fashioned phone call is still a great option. If you're nervous about calling someone out of the blue, send a text first to set up a good time to talk. Or even better, establish a regular call schedule with a friend or loved one. This not only ensures that you'll have someone to talk to regularly, but also gives you something to look forward to. And then there's the lost art of letter writing. In our fast-paced, digitally driven world, taking the time to handwrite a letter or postcard can be a therapeutic exercise. It's not just about the act of writing, it's about expressing your thoughts and feelings on paper. It can help you understand and cope with your feelings of loneliness. And when you mail that letter, you're sending a tangible piece of yourself to someone else, a reminder that you're thinking of them, that you care. Receiving a handwritten letter or postcard can be a real mood booster too. It's a physical connection, a reminder that someone out there is thinking of you. So don't underestimate the power of the pen. It can be a powerful tool in combating loneliness. Remember, a heartfelt letter or a scheduled call can keep you connected and ward off feelings of loneliness. It's all about finding creative ways to maintain those important bonds, even when you can't be there in person. Did you know that connecting with others isn't limited to just close friends and family? Engaging with communities both online and offline is a powerful way to combat feelings of loneliness. These communities provide a sense of belonging and an opportunity to share common interests and experiences. They can also open doors to new relationships and experiences that can enrich your life and help you feel less alone. Online platforms like Meetup.com offer a variety of groups that cater to almost any interest. From hiking to knitting, book clubs to coding workshops, there's bound to be a group that aligns with your hobbies or passions. Joining these groups not only allows you to indulge in activities you love, but also introduces you to people who share similar interests. Speaking of book clubs, they are another fantastic way to engage with communities. Whether online or in person, book clubs offer a platform to share thoughts, ideas, and perspectives about various books. It's like having a conversation with the author and other readers, creating a sense of connection and camaraderie. Social media channels also host numerous groups where you can engage in discussions about topics that interest you. From photography to cooking, gardening to astronomy, there's a social media group out there for everyone. Participating in these groups can help you reconnect with old contacts, expand your social network, and even learn something new along the way. Don't forget about offline communities too. Local events, concerts, open mic nights, these are all places where you could meet like-minded people. Engaging in these events can provide a sense of community and belonging, which can significantly reduce feelings of loneliness. And for those who enjoy a bit of competition, online multiplayer games or fantasy sports leagues could be your ticket to forming new friendships. These platforms allow you to interact with people across the globe, bringing a sense of togetherness despite the physical distance. Engaging with communities can help you feel more connected and less lonely. So, why not explore these options and start making connections today? You never know who you might meet or what new interests you might discover. Helping others is not only beneficial to them, but it can also help you combat loneliness. It's a simple and rewarding way to connect with others and find a sense of purpose. Let's talk about volunteering. It's a term that conjures images of soup kitchens, beach cleanups, or tutoring underprivileged kids. These are all noble and impactful ways to give back. But volunteering isn't confined to these scenarios. Volunteering can be as diverse as your interests and skills. You can lend your expertise to a nonprofit, join a community project, or even use your love for animals to volunteer at an animal shelter. The aim is to find something that resonates with you. When you volunteer, you're not just helping others. You're also creating opportunities to meet new people who share similar passions. You're stepping outside your comfort zone and opening yourself up to new experiences. Now you may ask, how can volunteering help me combat feelings of loneliness? Well, when you're engaged in meaningful work, it's easy to forget about your own problems. You're too busy focusing on the task at hand, on making a difference. This sense of purpose can be a powerful antidote to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Plus, the gratitude and appreciation that you receive from those you help can foster a sense of belonging. It reminds you that you're part of a larger community, that you matter, and that you're not alone. And the beauty of it is, you don't have to wait for a specific time or place to start helping others. You can offer your help to a neighbor, a friend, or even a stranger on the street. Every small act of kindness counts and has the potential to create a ripple effect of positivity. So the next time you're feeling lonely, consider reaching out to help someone else. It's a win-win situation. You're contributing to the well-being of others and, at the same time, alleviating your own feelings of loneliness. Remember, when you help others, you're also helping yourself feel less lonely. So how can we tackle loneliness? It's a question that resonates with many of us, especially in these challenging times. We've explored the landscape of loneliness, diving into its depths and understanding the profound impact it can have on our well-being. But most importantly, we've also identified meaningful and practical steps to alleviate this universal human experience. Firstly, we've learned that maintaining connections is critical. even if we can't always be physically present with our loved ones. We can make use of technology, using video chats or phone calls to bridge the gap. And remember, there's something special about the traditional, tangible touch of a handwritten letter. It's a creative and thoughtful way to express your feelings and stay connected. Next, we've discovered the power of community. Engaging with others, even strangers, can offer a sense of belonging and shared experience. Online platforms, local events, book clubs, and social media groups all provide opportunities to interact and form new relationships. Even multiplayer games and dating apps can serve as platforms to meet new people and combat feelings of loneliness. Lastly, we've highlighted the transformative effect of helping others. Volunteering not only benefits the community, but also adds purpose and fulfillment to our own lives. It's a win-win situation, really. As we contribute to the welfare of others, we simultaneously combat our own feelings of isolation. In conclusion, loneliness, while a universal human experience, is not a life sentence. It's simply a sign that we need to take action, to reach out and connect. We've discussed several strategies today, and they all revolve around one core concept: connection. Whether it's maintaining existing relationships, forming new ones, or helping others, each step is a stride towards overcoming loneliness. Remember, you are not alone in your feelings of loneliness. With these actionable steps, you can start to overcome it. So go ahead, reach out, engage, volunteer. Each connection you make, each person you help, brings you one step further from loneliness and one step closer to a more fulfilled and connected life.